So great news, we have what will probably be the new best TUR in the game, at least for a little while until Golden Week shows up. I have managed to avoid all spoilers on his kit. I haven't looked at all. I waited until I could make this video so we can go through it together, and let's check him out. First of all, the card art looks great. There's a thunderstorm going on in the background, by the way, so if you hear something, it's that. DB Saga, Earthbred Fighters, and maybe something else, but I guess we'll see. And it looks like they're a stacker. So, DB Saga, Earthbred Fighters, and Youth and Dragon Ball Seekers. Go over here. Saga, Earthbred Fighters. So this is pretty important because we obviously did need another chance at this category. Earthbred Fighters has been without a leader skill for a while, and for quite a bit of time, people thought maybe that would be the Gohan, but here we are, right? So one thing to mention, actually, and we should grab Dragon Ball Seekers. EFEs are about their leader skills first and foremost, and here we have the two 30%, or I guess 50% now, right? 50%, and their youth, which means that of course this Goku, who we'll talk about later, is on there, but also Daima is on there. The only thing though is I still do not believe Daima characters are on youth at all. They are of course on Earthbred Fighters, so that's Dragon Ball Seekers, Earthbred Fighters. That means they're 200%, right? So this Goku should lead at least some of the Daima characters, but not all of them. They'll specifically lead Goku, which is something, I guess. But yeah, not exactly the best, as you can tell, leader skill, but or the 50% is rather. And here we have a ton of characters who fit on there, but will not be getting the full 230%. That is just sort of how it goes, I think. And we'll talk about why that matters in a bit. So, okay. Here, okay. Activates the entrance animation when there's another DB Saga Youth or Dragon Ball Seekers category ally attacking the same turn on the character's entry. And that shouldn't be too hard. As I showed, Dragon Ball Seekers is not the hardest thing to hit. Youth can be, DB Saga can be, but this character is obviously operating with a banner unit. It is the Chi-Chi. We will not be going over Chi-Chi right now. Launches an additional super attack and damage reduction 40% for 7 turns. Okay. Attack and defense 200%. Damage reduction 20%, so 60% for 7 turns essentially. Launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack. When attacking with 12 or more ki, 55% chance of performing critical hits, so you don't need dupes for that reason. 22% chance of evading enemies' attack within the same turn, so okay, makes them more defensive after attacking, so great slot 2 unit. Receiving attack, 200%. They keep giving that to a lot of people, man. 200% when receiving attack has become a very big standard. For every super attack performed, 50% attack up to 200%. After performing 7 or more supers in battle, you guard all attacks and you launch an additional super attack. So I think I would call this extremely solid. Essentially working with 2 supers, not counting the hidden potential system. So you get to 7 or more pretty fast. Because imagine you miss every single great chance, right? You're still doing the first super attack, the guaranteed additional, and then hidden potential additional, and then a possible like 70%. That's pretty good. Yeah. I immediately think this looks like the best non-easy ATUR in the game, but let's keep going. Goku goes fishing. A bunch of flat stats. That's really good. Can be activated from the 3rd turn. So no condition other than 3rd turn. It's great. And it's from starter battle. Yeah, what a great active skill. It's just flat stats and an HP recovery. Innocence, All in the Family, Saiyan lineage, Infighter. Not the most desirable link set, nor are his categories crazy. The one thing that needs to be said though is that low class warriors is a very interesting category because a lot of times this has to do with Bardock. Bardock, for whatever reason, just keeps getting it added to his tags, and he might again. So that could be something, but yeah, he looks really good. I think we'll see him get up to great numbers. We're going to talk about why this character is built this way as we get towards the last point. And we have So raise attack does immense damage and seals. Raise attack does immense damage and stun. I'm surprised they didn't try to put like a greatly or anything on the unit attack for having a Bulma, because I don't know what Bulma you're running essentially. But we'll see, I guess. I guess you know what it is. They didn't put it on that because the unit attack isn't a part of his core identity. What happens is that if you happen to have a Bulma, it's cool to get the animation. But here we have the producer letter for Saiyan Day, which says, "Hi everyone, this is Dokkan Battle Operation Team. We're enjoying the ongoing 10th anniversary campaign. It'll be going until the 17th, so enjoy it until the end. On the 18th, we'll be getting Saiyan Days, essentially what is being said here. And during the campaign, you can get up to 17 Dragon Stones by completing the daily mission every day." Nice. Also, if you complete all the special missions before the campaign ends, you can get 16 more Dragon Stones and other awesome rewards. Very good. Make sure you're on top of that. Here we have the revealed Goku that we just saw, and we don't really need to see too much of that. Dokkan Awakening event, of course. Here is a big thing. So they added the free-to-play LRDKP into the game, and you know how I feel about that if you've watched this channel. We don't have to feel the same way about that, but you know how I feel about that. That said, one of the things that is very nice is that this character is now a possibly hard fight, and I'm a little tired of always fighting Dragon Ball Super characters as the hardest fights in the game. So it would be really cool if they made this fight count. Because if this doesn't count, then not only do we get DKP as a free-to-play unit, but his great animations aren't even going to be seen that much against us, which would suck. Here's the reveal that the quest for the Dragon Ball's Goku youth character is getting his easy A. They said that they will work good with the new Goku. A lot of people are making fun of that, saying, "Oh my god, they won't link. They won't link. They won't link." This Goku's a support. He just floats. The other Goku, I mean, it's just one of those things where people are really addicted to like links in Dokkan, and it is cool when they matter, but some of the time they literally don't, and it really doesn't matter. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like Dokkan's a weird game where like sometimes things are super important, and other times you could literally not look at them. Like I remember I had Super Easy A Beerus, and I literally forgot to Hidden Potential system him. Like, he was just at 0%, and he took 0 damage the entire fight because Super Easy A Beerus is a fucking insane unit. And it was a moment where the entire Hidden Potential system, which kind of doesn't matter a lot of the time, literally didn't matter. And yeah, links are like that too, where people get really obsessed with the numbers and don't realize that, like, what if he's just buffing like 60% to that Goku, and then the links don't matter because he's already giving him 60% to everything, you know what I mean? And damage reduction or whatever. So okay, and a special support pack for anyone who likes those. I don't really spend money on this game that much. Like I said, I buy the subscription. I don't buy packs. So if this is your thing, cool. Last thing though is I wanted to get into this right here, which is that DaTruth is laying down fire. He's saying it how it is again. He's saying it's time to have the uncomfortable conversation, guys. The Festival of Battles event does matter. If you guys want to pretend it doesn't, that is totally your prerogative, but it does in fact matter. 3 years ago, it was more matters than just Red Zone, and to which I already responded to this saying, I think it matters in that it exists, but the average Dokkan Battle user is not sitting around for 1 to 2 hours in this event a month from now, I'd imagine. If this is where content goes from here on, then the discussion can be reopened, but I doubt it will be replicated. Festival of Battles revamp in a year's time to prepare for it. 99% of the player base no, it does not. Truth when people don't enjoy the developer screen time farming event. This isn't true. This guy mattered because he was like other fights that we had. We had 4-ish fights before him that all functioned exactly the same in his own red zone. He was the demonstration that this is the direction content was moving. And this guy being so strong turn 1 is closer to the formidable hardened foes or whatever the fuck it's called zone than it is to, you know, Festival of Battles. This is a false equivalency. This guy mattered because content was being put out that looked like him. Whereas Festival of Battles is a complete exception. There is nothing like it. It is the only one like itself in the entire game, right? There is no other event where you spend an hour and a half playing it to get one shot by, like, you know, Vegito, Gogeta, Daima Goku, Fat Boo, etc. I will say that if you think it matters, I don't really think it's like you're like a heinous person or like you're a villain, but we have no precedent for Festival of Battles, period. There's no precedent. And I mean, just more and more, you're going to see people having the same opinion, right? Like 99% they're going to keep playing the game for a 3-hour event. If a unit is going to do well against Fest, and they're going to do good elsewhere too. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Sal Max cooking people or separated tier list. Listen. I just think, and actually vector spitting, I think it is too incongruent with the rest of the game to take super seriously. That said, if people do go down that path, I still win. I enjoy doing streams of the event, and it benefits my favorite units. Yeah, here it is. And it benefits my favorite units. That's actually what this is. And I said that before when it came to Namek Goku, where I love Namek Goku. I want to see his animations as much as possible. And it is the event for him. That said, the rest of the game is not put in a position to benefit Namek Goku. And neither is it any of these other characters, right? Like, yeah, it's just not the same thing. It's just not the same thing. I think this is going to be a big talking point. And the reason I'm saying this to you guys now, if you're still here for this, the reason I'm saying this to you now is because this is going to be brought up a lot. But I wouldn't really bother arguing this because until a precedent is shown, we don't know how normal this is, right? This isn't really one of those situations where, you know, I say the bar is the bar, because they said for 10th anniversary, we have a special event and it's essentially a gimmick event, right? You can spend, I got to like fight, I think I got to like round 43 or something, 43 or 44. And I literally didn't pay attention to what was on the screen. I was playing Bellatra while I was, you know, fucking with it. If that's your idea of like a super intense, interesting event, then like, I feel like you could just go play Path of Exile 2. Does everyone want to go play Path of Exile 2 with me or Path of Exile 1 with me? Or we can just like turn our brains off and like fuck around and like kill monsters? Because that's not really the identity Dokkan has shifted for itself. And until they show us that that is going to be what they do, then Festival of Battles just stands as a cool, sometimes useful showcase stage that's like not really in line with the rest of the game. It's not in line with the rest of its identity. And if we want to go bar for bar, we can go really hard in this argument where I say, yes, most gachas that are run through PvE have great tower modes, and certain characters are great in those tower modes. Characters like in Epic 7, like Ravi and Diana and Hammerin, who are amazing at tower but don't really have a position for PvP or other forms of PvE. They just kind of do very specific things, tower, raid, etc. But those aren't even the focus of the game, right? So it's like, does it matter that they make a character for that? I guess it kind of does, but what we're really going to want to see is, does this character slap in the majority of content that Dokkan has? Because in 2 months, they're not going to put out another Festival of Battles. They're going to put out another Red Zone. They're putting out another Red Zone now, right? I guess last point is, should you pull? I will say that if you are going to pull, let's go to Truth's thing here. Let's just grab them. So I would say that if you are going to pull on this Goku here, that you should probably consider skipping Golden Week. And if you're gonna not pull on this unit here, then you're waiting until Golden Week, because you, as a new player, as a returning player, you're out of anniversary, and now you're in the down period, and now you have to start making the gacha decisions, which is, if you don't pay and you're a free-to-play player or you're a low-spending player, you don't have all the money in the world, all the stones in the world to always pull on these units. So what are you going to do? I would say that This Goku looks fun. If you're the biggest DB fan in the world, then, you know, hats off to you, salute. Of course, these regular Dokkan Fest will have pity, I believe. So, you know, maybe you'll get them easy. But I said when I pulled for Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, because that banner was so heat, that I'm not pulling for Saiyan Day unless it was something crazy. And when it comes to Kid Goku, I do want him, but not from this part of the series. I want him from the DKP stuff. I think his animations are great. I think his intro is great. I think his active's great. I think all that stuff is great. I just don't see this being valuable. His leader skill isn't necessary. Earthbred Heroes is a highly contended category because it is competing with Earthbred Saviors or whatever the fuck that Vegito leads. Like, what is so different about this category and Vegitos? You'd rather just run 2 Vegitos, right? Like, yeah, so as in terms of value proposition, I'm not saying don't pull for your favorite character. I'm saying value proposition. Is this valuable? Not really. This is the type of character you pull as a luxury character. This is the type of character you pull because he's your favorite. You don't pull this character because he's going to change your account. I feel very comfortable in saying that. He does look like the best TUR. It's just that the best TUR isn't account changing to me. Look out for the Easy A. Save for Golden Week if you're not like a hyper fan of this moment. Because the rest of 2025 should be pretty exciting. And I'm not saying this isn't hype, by the way. I think this is hype. More Dragon Ball. But it's just one of those releases that's like Golden Week's right around the corner. Anabata's right around the corner. Blah, blah, blah is right around the corner, right? We're not on global timing anymore. We're on JP timing now. So you have to play this like JP plays this. So it's either you pull here or you pull Golden Week. And Golden Week's going to have a dual Dokkan Fest and an LR, right? I believe so. So, you know, with all that said, I've been Lone. We all gonna make it. Like if you like the video, subscribe to join the club, and peace.